Hi, I'm Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV USA.
Coming up, we'll be on location at Best Health Sleep Center in Dumfries, Virginia, discussing the latest advances in sleep disorder treatment, health, and wellness, and how they can effectively treat sleep apnea and help you get a good night's sleep, as well as restoring your health and wellness with one of this area's top doctors, Dr. Mubashir Fazal. Dr. Fazal is board certified in sleep medicine, hospital medicine, as well as family medicine, and has well over 20 years of experience. Dr. Fazal also received a medal for academic excellence while he was attending medical school. He also was chief resident and then became chief of medicine at a hospital in Michigan. Dr. Fazal works extensively with not only the private sector, but also federal government organizations, including the VA and the U.S. Army, among others. Dr. Fazal is also one of the very few doctors in this DMV region who specializes in both pediatric as well as adult sleep medicine. He is widely recognized as one of this region's top doctors.
Welcome to the Best Health Sleep Center.
This is Dr. Fazal, Medical Director, as well as Board Certified Sleep Specialist. I'm here to help all your sleep needs. We serve Maryland and Virginia area, and we take care of adult as well as pediatric population. Welcome.
My name is Samara, and I'm the office manager of Best Health Sleep Center. I will make sure you've got a good customer service, and I will take care of all your sleep needs and scheduling.
Hi, I'm Christopher. I'm a patient care coordinator, and I'm here to go the extra mile and make sure you get exceptional customer service.
Hi, my name is Liz. Bienvenidos a nuestra clínica. Estamos aquí para ofrecerte ayuda si tienes problemas para dormir. Si tienes problemas de sobrepeso, si sufres de ansiedad o si no puedes dormir y porque roncas mucho, estamos aquí esperándote que nos llames. Tenemos oficinas en Maryland y Virginia. Gracias, te esperamos.
My name is Mohsen. I take care of all the DME equipment needs. Even after the follow-up, I make sure that all the patients been taken care of at the best level.
They really care about their patients. Very responsive. Anytime I've had any question or issue, either the staff or the doctor Fazal gets back to me quickly. It's been great working with him.
I would say out of a scale 1 to 10, he's a 20, and the nurses and the staff are beautiful people.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Moby, and today we are again honored with Alana here. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. So tell me how things are where you are COVID-wise.
Oh my goodness. We're in an orange zone. I'm in Staten Island, New York. So there's no school. Almost everything's closed. The numbers are super high. We're opening a field hospital here. It's just it's just unbelievable. Like every day you just, hope for the best and that it's going to get better. And it feels bleak right now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are very difficult times for everyone, especially, with medical providers, of course, and also, first responders, so we are all hoping for get out of this mess. So I hope we all are safe. So I think audience will love to meet your dog too. I know.
Phoenix.
Yeah, he's right there, and she was telling me of stage that he's always with her. Really.
Yeah. He does have choices. He's got 3 others that he could be with, but he chooses me now more than ever, all the time. So I feel really honored, and I think it's because I'm the one that walks him every day, and I walk him like 3 to 4 miles because that's therapy.
That's your therapy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And when I'm doing it, I just try to just literally focus on his energy and feel, his energy through the leash. And it's always just vibrant and joy. And that's my gift to myself and to him.
Okay. And, that brings the important topic, and I was discussing with our previous guest, is that, lifestyle change, people, need to find way to so they need to figure out what relaxes them and and that is very important. A lot of people don't know what makes them happy, or they know, but they don't pay attention, right?
Yes, it's so true. And I mean, if we can just tune into what that is, like literally take a moment to ask ourselves, what do we love? What do we want to get back to doing, or what's something that we've never done before that we want to explore? Because we, for the most part, all have a lot more time now on our hands. And I think a lot of us are using that time, unfortunately, unproductively, where we're going, directly to our phones, or we're going, and we're drinking, or we're, there's food all around, and maybe we're just going back to watching our reality shows when really this can be the time where we can start something new. And that is the very basis of building the brain and making sure that we're creating those new neural pathways for things that can support happiness, health, creativity.
Okay. Tell us about, I know you are actually well trained in neuropsych and, neurology. So tell us, audience, a little bit about those pathways. I think you briefly touch on them sometimes. So for educational purpose, let's see if people can grasp some of those.
Yeah, no, sure. Happy to. So, and that's really why I started Reclaim Brain with my partner. We're on a mission, and the mission is to teach people how to be resilient using their minds and their bodies so that they can bounce back better than before from COVID. It is possible to do that. I know that, we'll put on the news and you'll hear, this is the darkest time ever.
I know.
Yeah, this is the end of the world, for on recorded history for the next 4 months, and you're like, all right, I think I'm going to shut my phone now. And that's when we go ahead and we eat or we drink and we do something to numb the pain. But in reality, you can listen to what it is that your mind and your body is telling you, because they are always messengers. So we're here to teach everyone to be able to use your body and to use your mind. So essentially, we combine positive psychology as well as sensory perception to give people the tools to actually reverse anxiety and reverse depression in real time. So the ability there is to learn to use the body to notice when a thought is actually not serving you. That you can take that moment and make a decision around it so that you don't need to spiral down. And that's really the true meaning of emotional intelligence. We're teaching them to use their body to send a message of calm back to their brain. That really reawakens that bidirectional relationship between their body and their mind. And that's what reconnects the neural pathways of the brain that gets severed when we constantly just ignore those messages that the body is trying to send us, which is so easy to do when we're stuck at home and we're getting all these messages of doom and gloom.
And, you know, I always tell a lot of my patients too, that when we have stress, and the emergency response is actually in the brain, is consists of few kind of set pathway. So it's going to, you know, react like a knee-jerk response, and it's gonna do pretty fast because it doesn't need a lot of thinking on that path. It doesn't need creativity. It does not need a lot of that, you know, wisdom or even second thought. So it's gonna just run or scream, or, you know, those kind of responses. And so we have to, but not every situation needs that, you know.
Right. And that's where it's so important to learn to be the watcher of your thoughts and the watcher of your body, right? To understand what it is that's actually running through your mind and what it is that your body is trying to message to you. So if you do this, after a while, your default can eventually become living in the present moment. That's completely a possibility. And then what you have there is access directly to the prefrontal cortex, which is the awareness and the creativity center of the brain. And that's the place where we use to lean into joy, to lean into connection. And, you know, what we're finding is that in the workshops that we're giving is that this is becoming so effective for the participants because it's giving them access to the creativity center of their brain. And the workshop participants are coming back and they're telling us that they're innovating more quickly at work, which we didn't really expect to happen. They're feeling more connected to their mission of the company. They're finding more connecting moments to their teams. We've even added a corporate framework to our offering. So we're now doing creativity and innovation labs because of this. So, you know, the idea here is that it doesn't necessarily have to be a time where we're spiraling down and that we're falling victim to everything that's around us. We can instead pay attention to what it is that's running through our minds, listen to our bodies, and then take that moment in real time and reverse it.
Yeah, and that is, you know, a lot of people don't know, but the answer is right there within us. So it's not that you really have to look outside. You know, a lot of people ask, okay, you know, do I have to take vitamins? Do I do this? Do I do that? No, answer is within us. Find out, very simple, is, you know, just first of all, pay attention why we are here or what makes us happy or sad. Just differentiate between those two states for yourself. And, you know, and it's very easy. Many people are in constantly one state or mostly in one, and they don't realize that how good they were or how nice it was when they were happy.
Right, you know? Exactly. And that right there is such a huge thing because, you know, you can think that the world is crashing down and it really is something that is easily fixed until, you know, you have an actual real problem that can't be fixed. You know, so if we can have that level of gratitude, and that to me is real gratitude and appreciation for life, is being able to understand. So, you know, if my stomach is actually empty, I've got one problem, right? But all of a sudden, if it's full, I've got a whole bunch of them. Right?
Yeah, I know.
We create all of those kind of mind-made problematic moments for ourselves, when in actuality, those are the moments that we can use to become better and stronger at any time. It's a matter of whether or not we're able to be the watcher of those thoughts and be interested enough to figure out what it is that's so fascinating about our problems that are happening today, which is where we can then turn around and say, well, what is it that I want to make of this situation, instead of having that situation make something of me.
And so tell us, you know, I know we briefly touched with the last time too. So with your conferences, you know, you have figured out a way to help them to kind of analyze their situation and be more productive. So tell us some of the tips which, you know, listeners can benefit or at least they get to learn once they join your conference?
Yeah, so what I think the biggest thing that everyone can start to do is notice where in their body it communicates emotion to them, right? So if you are someone that can feel anxiety, like I used to feel it on a regular basis in my chest, it's really not ignoring that pain in your chest, but stopping to notice what that pain in your chest represents. Stopping to ask yourself, what is that emotion? Where is it coming from? Because we know that it's tied to an original thought. And then once you can get to that original thought, you can rationalize in a way that creates a thought that's better for you. So the way in which to do that on a regular basis is to actually start to get more in tune with the messaging behind your body and your mind.
And the messages can be, with all our senses. So it can be, sound, it can be, anything. And then, the senses just deliver the message. And then, your brain processes that. Now it can process to the, emergency mode, which we talked a little bit, touched it, and it goes into, oh, that's a threat, and then, or there could be no threat actually. And then, but you are kind of into that mode, you would take anything and everything as a threat, right?
Exactly. And that's where we see that the landscape becomes less resilient, because now you're in a mode where your amygdala is in charge, right? And the amygdala is the emotional portion of the brain. And that's where you get into fight or flight, and you start to notice that everything around you feels like pain. And you find ways in which to even rationalize that pain by getting angry at other people around you. So you're looking for ways to actually support that. Right. So when we are in that mode on an ongoing basis, it's impossible for us to be able to access the rational part of the brain, which is the prefrontal cortex, which is what I talked to you about before. That is our awareness center of the brain. It is our connection center of the brain. It's where we can feel empathy. It's where we can get into creativity, where we can choose the thoughts that actually serve us. But we can't actually access that part of the brain until we've told the amygdala that everything is totally fine and you can stand down now. So we have to find the tools in which to do so. And we can't just ignore what it is that's happening on a regular basis, because that's where you'll be spiraling down and you'll never be able to get into the present moment.
And that's, for people to understand, actually, it's the brain is wired and there are multiple connections, and those wired, the circuits actually, it forms that circuit, it remembers that, and it develops that circuit. It has multiple stops and it can kind of run the circuits either way, which is fascinating because it can form new circuits as well as it can change how it transmits information from there. So those are the one what we're talking about. What Talana is trying to say is that we can actually create positive circuits in that, that some portion will go to your prefrontal cortex, but it's not going to go if you keep on circuiting short circuit, I would say, short circuit yourself, and not let the information be analyzed by the prefrontal cortex and comes out of that. So it's going to do a short circuit switch real quickly, and you are doing again and again into that. So just all you have to do is think logic, give your brain a logic to let it analyze, let it understand.
And so that's just it, because when the amygdala is the one that's calling the shots and you're at the mercy of the amygdala.
Welcome to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and you can see somebody is welcoming us here right now. So let's check out and go closer to them. Hello, how are you all doing? Hey everybody, I'm at Colonial Beach. Look at this nice, somebody welcome, whatever, I'm very
मैं सामनाज लाइफस्टाइल टीवी चैनल पे आप सबके लिए मोहम्मद हारिस बरकी, जो एक डॉक्टर और एक वालियन है, फ्रॉइड की ईगो और इट के बारे में कुछ लिखते हैं। वो क्या लिखते हैं, आइए सुनते हैं। सब नशा है, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, कुछ देर होते हैं मेहरबां, हमारी जिंदगी का हासिल है इस मेहरबानी का नशा। लुत्फ बढ़ता गया जू जू शिद्दत जफा बढ़ती गई, उन्हें क्या खबर थी हम पे चढ़ा है खुद अजीती का नशा। जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, दिलों में बसा है इस कदर खुद गर्जी का नशा। सबसे आला सबसे उर्फा कोई नहीं मेरे जैसा, करता है मखमूर जब छाता है खुद सताइशी का नशा। कुव्वते इक्तदार को कम ही हजम कर पाते हैं लोग, कम ज़र्फ कर देता है पागल कुर्सी का नशा। जिस कदर मजलूम हूँ इस कदर मजबूर हूँ, कदम क्या उठें जब हो जाए खुद तरसी का नशा। सर को धुनते धुनते होश हुए ऐसे गुम, दुनिया की खबर ही ना रही जब मौसीकी का छाया नशा। जुए को जिंदगी समझना और जिंदगी को जुआ, हार कर सब मालो मता उतर जाता है जवारी का नशा। हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, तेरी संगदिली से तो है आशिकी का नशा। दुनिया माफिया को छोड़कर गोशाए नशी होना, ये फकीरी नहीं ये है फकीरी का नशा। हारिस नशे और भी हैं, हारिस नशे और भी हैं, महके नशे के सिवा, जिंदगी के हर रूप में छुपा हुस्ने आवारगी का नशा। आदाब।
Hi, I'm Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV, USA.
कराची में जारी 7वीं कसीरुल कौमी बहरी मश्क अम 2021 के तीसरे रोज दहशत गर्दी से निमटने की अमली मश्क और हरबी सलाहियतों का मुजाहिरा किया गया। तकरीब में मेहमान खुसूसी चेयरमैन ज्वाइंट चीफ्स ऑफ कमेटी जनरल नदीम रजा और मुख्तलिफ मुल्कों की बहरिया के मंदोबीन ने शिरकत की। तकरीब में फ्रांस, जर्मनी और ईरान समेत 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक के नुमाइंदों ने शिरकत की। पानियों में फौजी किश्तियों और फिजाओं में हेलीकॉप्टरों ने गश्त किया। जांबाजों ने दुश्मनों को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने का मुजाहिरा भी किया। पाक सरजमीन के मुहाफिजों ने रस्सी की मदद से हेलीकॉप्टर से उतरने की महारत दिखाई। चेयरमैन ज्वाइंट चीफ्स ऑफ स्टाफ कमेटी जनरल नदीम रजा कसीरुल कौमी अमन मशकों के मेहमान खुसूसी थे। बहरिया हुक्काम के मुताबिक 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक की मशकों का मकसद ऑपरेशन ड्रिल्स में इजाफा, गैर रिवायती खतरात से निमटने की सलाहियतों में इजाफा, कसीरुल जहती तनाजुर में बहरी हरबी सलाहियतों का इजाफा और समंदर में मुश्तरका कार्रवाइयों को बढ़ाना है। मशकों का एक और मकसद मुश्तरका हिकमत अमली के साथ समंदरी जारियत से निमटना भी है।
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान ने अगस्त तक 1 अरब पौधे लगाने का हदफ मुकर्रर कर दिया और चारों सूबों में शजरकारी मुहिम के दौरान खुद हिस्सा लेने का भी फैसला किया है। मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स के मुताबिक मौजूदा हुकूमत अब तक 70 करोड़ पौधे पहले ही लगा चुकी है। शजरकारी मुहिम में 35 करोड़ पौधे फरवरी से अगस्त तक लगाए जाएंगे। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म ने चारों सूबों में शजरकारी मुहिम में खुद हिस्सा लेने का फैसला किया। इमरान खान हफ्तावार एक सूबे में शजरकारी की तकरीब में शरीक होंगे। ज़राए ने बताया कि सूबों में शजरकारी तकारीब का मकसद लोगों में पौधे लगाने का रुझान पैदा करना है। इस हवाले से ज़राए का ये भी कहना है कि वज़ीर आज़म के मुआविन खुसूसी मौसमियाती तब्दीली मलिक अमीन असलम ने शेड्यूल तरतीब दे दिया। इमरान खान जल्द सिंध में मैंग्रोव से मुतालिक तकरीब में शरीक होंगे। ये भी कहा गया है कि मैंग्रोव जहरीली आबो हवा जज्ब करके समंदरी आलूदगी से बचाने का सबब बनते हैं। पंजाब, KPK और बलूचिस्तान जैतून की शजरकारी मुहिम में हिस्सा लेंगे, जबकि इस्लामाबाद, आज़ाद कश्मीर और GB में आबो हवा की मुनासबत से पौधे लगाए जाएंगे। मुल्क भर में कोरोना से मजीद 31 अफराद जाबहक हो गए, जबकि 1000 से जायद मुस्बत केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए। नेशनल कमांड एंड ऑपरेशन सेंटर की जानिब से जारी किए जाने वाले आदाद शुमार के मुताबिक मुल्क भर में गुज़िश्ता 24 घंटों के दौरान कोरोना वायरस से 31 अफराद जाबहक, जबकि 1404 मुस्बत केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए। मुल्क भर में अब तक 12,307 अमवात हुई, जबकि अब तक कोरोना वायरस के मरीजों की तादाद 5,63,029 हो गई। सेहतयाब होने वाले मरीजों की तादाद 5,25,087 है और फाल केसेस की तादाद 25,635 है। गुज़िश्ता 24 घंटों के दौरान 34,475 कोरोना टेस्ट किए गए। NCOC के मुताबिक सिंध में 2,53,511, पंजाब में 1,63,833, खैबर पख्तूनख्वा 69,778, बलोचिस्तान में 18,929 केसेस, इस्लामाबाद 42,590, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में 4,940 केसेस और आज़ाद कश्मीर में कोरोना मरीजों की तादाद 9,448 हो गई। K2 की बुलंदियों में खो जाने वाले मारूफ पाकिस्तानी कोहे पैमा मोहम्मद अली सतपारा और साथियों की तलाश जारी। लापता कोहे पैमाओं की तलाश के लिए 8 रोज से कोशिशें जारी हैं, लेकिन ताहाल कामयाबी न मिल सकी। दूसरी जानिब खराब मौसम पाक फिजाइया के जदीद टेक्नोलॉजी से लेस तैयारों को इंतहाई बुलंदी पर उड़ान भरने की राह में रुकावट बन रही है। आज भी मौसम की खराबी की वजह से सर्च ऑपरेशन न किया जा सका। सर्च ऑपरेशन में पाक आर्मी एविएशन और मकामी कोहे पैमा हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। गुज़िश्ता 2 रोज के दौरान जारी सर्च ऑपरेशन के दौरान आइसलैंड और चिली के स्पेस एजेंसियों ने सैटेलाइट तस्वीर भी जारी कर दी हैं, जिनमें बोटलनेक के करीब चंद मकामात की निशानदेही की गई है। उम्मीद जाहिर की जा रही है कि शायद वहाँ लापता कोहे पैमा बर्फ के गार बनाए बैठे हैं। वाज़ेह है कि 5 फरवरी को K2 की चोटी को सर करने और वहाँ सब्ज हिलाली परचम लहराने का ख्वाब लिए मोहम्मद अली सतपारा और उनके साथी 8200 की बुलंदी पर बॉटल नेक क्रॉस कर चुके थे कि उनसे मवासलाती राब्ता कट गया, जिसके बाद से ताहाल मोहम्मद अली सतपारा और साथी लापता हैं। मुहिम में शरीक साजिद सतपारा के मुताबिक उनके वालिद और साथियों ने चोटी सर कर ली थी। वापसी पे कोई हादसा हुआ होगा। इस्लामाबाद बदमाशों का शहर नहीं, इसलिए 33 में 30 नाके खत्म कर दिए, जबकि बाकी 3 भी जल्द खत्म कर देंगे। चौधरी निसार अपने साथ जैमर वाली गाड़ी रखते थे, लेकिन आज वजीर दाखिला बगैर जैमर की गाड़ी में घूमता है। इस्लामाबाद में आने वाले दिनों में जदीद पुलिस नजर आएगी। पाकिस्तानी सिफारत खानों में 3 साल से जायद मुलाजमत करने वालों को वापस बुला रहे हैं। जिन्होंने गैर मुल्की शहरियत दी, उन्हें नौकरियों से हाथ धोना पड़ेगा। शेख रशीद ने कहा कि मौलाना फजल रहमान को हलवा खिलाने की बात की थी, लेकिन अब मौसम बदल गया है, इसलिए वो बात वापस लेता हूँ। PDM भी अपने मामलात पर सोचे। धरना बहुत मुश्किल काम है। हमें 126 दिन के धरने का तजुर्बा है। कानून के दायरे में लॉन्ग मार्च आए तो कोई मसला नहीं। आसिफ जरदारी और बिलावल मेरी बात समझते हैं। ओपोजिशन को बिल आखिर पीपल्स पार्टी की बात ही माननी है।
मैं PDM के लोगों से कहता हूँ, मेरी बात आसिफ जरदारी को समझ आ गई हुई है। बिलावल भी समझता है, दिल से मेरी बात को समझता है। वो मेरे दिल के करीब है और मेरी दिल की बात समझता है। उसको पता है कि शेख रशीद सही कह रहा है। बिल आखिर इन्होंने पीपल्स पार्टी की बात माननी है।
वजीर दाखिला ने कहा कि पाक अफवाज मुल्क के लिए कुर्बानियां दे रही है। जो लोग फौज को गालियां देते हैं, उनकी जबान खींच लेनी चाहिए।
जो लोग फौज को गाली देते हैं, उनकी जुबान गुद्दी से खींच लेनी चाहिए कि अजीम सबूत जो जान हथेली पे रख के आपके लिए दहशतगर्दी खत्म की। 4
जमातें मुल्क को गैर मुस्तहकम करना चाहती हैं। वो लोग इंतशार फैला रहे हैं जो पाकिस्तान बनाने के भी खिलाफ थे। दुख मुस्लिम लीग नून का है। जो फौज के खिलाफ बात करे वो मुस्लिम लीगी नहीं। शेख रशीद ने कहा 3 मार्च को सेनेट इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं। सेनेट के इंतखाबात को मीडिया ने अहमियत दी है। सेनेट इलेक्शन ओपन करें या खुफिया करें, बिकने वाला बिक जाता है। बिकने वालों की लालच उन्हें बर्बाद कर देती है। किसी का 1 वोट कम हो गया तो कयामत नहीं आ जाएगी। हुकूमत ने 2.5 माह में मुसलसल छठी बार आवाम पर पेट्रोल बम गिराने की तैयारी कर ली है। पेट्रोल की कीमत में 16 रुपए फी लीटर इजाफे की तैयारी कर ली गई है। हतमी फैसला आज वजीर आजम इमरान खान करेंगे। 16 फरवरी से पेट्रोलियम मसनूआत 4 से 5.5 रुपए फी लीटर महंगी होने का इम्कान जाहिर किया जा रहा है। ऑयल एंड गैस रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी की जानिब से अगले 15 रोज के लिए पेट्रोल 16 रुपए फी लीटर तक महंगा करने की तजवीज पेट्रोलियम डिवीजन को अरसाल कर दी गई है। ओगरा की जानिब से अरसाल करदा समरी में लाइट डीजल और मट्टी के तेल की कीमतों में भी इजाफे की तजवीज दी गई है। डीजल की कीमत में 14 रुपए 75 पैसा इजाफा तजवीज किया गया है। पेट्रोल की हालिया कीमत 112 रुपए फी लीटर है, जो इजाफे के बाद 128 रुपए हो जाएगी। डीजल 116 रुपए 7 पैसे से महंगा होकर 130 रुपए 82 पैसे फी लीटर मिलेगा। ख्याल रहे कि 1 दिसंबर से अब तक पेट्रोलियम मसनूआत 16 रुपए 37 पैसे महंगी हो चुकी हैं। याद रहे कि गुज़िश्ता माह हुकूमत ने पेट्रोल की कीमत में 2 रुपए 70 पैसे फी लीटर इजाफा किया था, जबकि हाई स्पीड डीजल की कीमत में 2 रुपए 88 पैसे फी लीटर का इजाफा किया गया। سینٹ انتخابات میں حصہ لینے کے لیے امیدواروں کی جانب سے کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرانے کا سلسلہ جاری ہے۔ الیکشن کمیشن کی جانب سے گزشتہ روز سینٹ الیکشن کے شیڈول میں تبدیلی کی گئی تھی، جس کے تحت امیدواروں کی جانب سے آج بھی کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرائے جانے کا سلسلہ جاری ہے۔ اتوار کے روز پشاور میں پیپلز پارٹی کے امیدوار شازیہ طہماسپ جبکہ پی ٹی آئی کے دوست محمد محسود نے کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرائے۔ اس کے علاوہ لاہور میں تحریک انصاف کے ملک ظہیر عباس کھوکر نے کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرائے ہیں۔ سینٹ کی 48 خالی نشستوں پر اب تک 75 کے قریب امیدواروں نے کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرا دیے ہیں، جن میں شبلی فراز، ثانیہ نشتر، عبدالحفیظ شیخ، فوزیہ ارشد، زرکا تیمور، سید یوسف رضا گیلانی، سلیم مانوی والا، شیری رحمان، فاروق نائک، پرویز رشید، تاج حیدرم مشاہد اللہ خان، کریم خواجہ، عباس آفریدی اور فرحت اللہ بابر جیسے اہم رہنما شامل ہیں۔ واضح رہے کہ الیکشن کمیشن پاکستان نے سینٹ انتخابات کے شیڈول میں تبدیلی کرتے ہوئے کاغذات نامزدگی جمع کرانے کے وقت میں 2 دن کا اضافہ کیا تھا، تاہم انتخابات 3 مارچ کو ہی ہوں گے۔
Welcome to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and you can see somebody is welcoming us here right now. So let's check out and go closer to them. Hello, how are you all doing? Hey everybody, I'm at Colonial Beach. Look at this nice somebody very good whatever I'm getting.
मैं सामने आज लाइफस्टाइल टीवी चैनल पे आप सबके लिए मोहम्मद हारिस बरकी, जो एक डॉक्टर और इकबालियन है, फ्रॉइड की ईगो और इट के बारे में कुछ लिखते हैं। वो क्या लिखते हैं, आइए सुनते हैं। सब नशा है, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, कुछ देर होते हैं मेहरबां, हमारी जिंदगी का हासिल है इस मेहरबानी का नशा। लुत्फ बढ़ता गया जू जू शिद्दत जफा बढ़ती गई, उन्हें क्या खबर थी हम पे चढ़ा है खुद अजीती का नशा। जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, दिलों में बसा है इस कदर खुद गर्जी का नशा। सबसे आला सबसे उर्फा कोई नहीं मेरे जैसा, करता है मखमूर जब छाता है खुद सताइशी का नशा। कुव्वते इक्तदार को कम ही हजम कर पाते हैं लोग, कम ज़र्फ कर देता है पागल कुर्सी का नशा। जिस कदर मजलूम हूँ इस कदर मजबूर हूँ, कदम क्या उठें जब हो जाए खुद तरसी का नशा। सर को धुनते धुनते होश हुए ऐसे गुम, दुनिया की खबर ही ना रही जब मौसीकी का छाया नशा। जुए को जिंदगी समझना और जिंदगी को जुआ, हार कर सब मालो मता उतर जाता है जवारी का नशा। हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, तेरी संगदिली से तो है आशिकी का नशा। दुनिया माफिया को छोड़कर गोशाए नशी होना, ये फकीरी नहीं ये है फकीरी का नशा। हारिस नशे और भी हैं, हारिस नशे और भी हैं, महके नशे के सिवा, जिंदगी के हर रूप में छुपा हुस्ने आवारगी का नशा। आदाब।
Hi, I'm Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV, USA.
साबिक अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के मवासे से बरियत के बाद अमरीकी सदर जो बाइडन ने अपने रद्द अमल का इजहार करते हुए कहा है कि जमहूरियत कमजोर है। अमरीकी सदर जो बाइडन ने डोनाल्ड ट्रंप की बरियत के बाद रद्द अमल के इजहार में कहा है कि ट्रंप को सजा नहीं मिल सकी, मगर आयद किया गया इल्जाम मुतनाज़ नहीं है। उन्होंने मजीद कहा कि अमरीकी पार्लियामेंट पर हमला हमारी तारीख का अफसोसनाक बाब है। इसने हमें याद दिलाया कि जमहूरियत कमजोर है। अमरीकी सदर जो बाइडन का ये भी कहना है कि हमें हमेशा चौकन्ना रहना चाहिए, जमहूरियत का हमेशा दिफा किया जाना चाहिए। वाज़ेह रहे कि साबिक अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप पर 6 जनवरी को अमरीकियों को उकसाकर कांग्रेस की इमारत पर हमला कराने का इल्जाम था। سابق امریکی صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ نے سینٹ کے فیصلے کا خیر مقدم کیا ہے۔ ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ نے کہا کہ یہ امریکہ کو دوبارہ عظیم بنانے کا تاریخی اور خوبصورت لمحہ ہے، ابھی تو شروعات ہوئی ہے۔ سابق امریکی صدر کا کہنا تھا کہ آنے والے مہینوں میں اور بھی بہت کچھ بتانا ہے۔ ماضی میں ٹرمپ نے مواخذے کو انتقامی کارروائی قرار دیتے ہوئے اس کی شدید مذمت کی تھی۔ واضح رہے کہ مواخذے کا سامنا کرنے والے سابق امریکی صدر ڈونلڈ ٹرمپ سزا سے بچ گئے۔ امریکی سینٹ نے سابق صدر کو بری کر دیا۔ 57 اراکین نے مجرم قرار دینے کے حق میں اور 43 نے مخالفت میں ووٹ دیا۔ 7 ریپبلکن اراکین نے سزا کے حق میں ووٹ دیے۔ امریکہ میں کرونا وائرس سے اب تک 4,92,521 افراد ہلاک ہو گئے ہیں، جبکہ اس سے بیمار ہونے والوں کی مجموعی تعداد 2,81,06,704 ہو چکی ہے۔ کرونا وائرس کے امریکہ میں 95,73,871 مریض اسپتالوں، قرنطینہ مراکز میں زیر علاج اور گھروں میں آئسولیشن میں ہیں، جن میں سے 19,927 کی حالت تشویشناک ہے، جبکہ 1,80,40,312 کرونا مریض اب تک شفا یاب ہو چکے ہیں۔ کرونا وائرس کے کیسز اور اس سے اموات کے اعتبار سے امریکہ پہلے نمبر پر ہے، جہاں اس وائرس سے اب تک 4,92,521 افراد موت کے منہ میں پہنچ چکے ہیں، جبکہ اس سے بیمار ہونے والوں کی مجموعی تعداد 2,81,06,704 ہو چکی ہے۔ پاکستانی نژاد امریکی ڈاکٹر کو کووڈ-19 ویکسین سے متعلق حکام کی ہدایات پر سختی سے عمل کرنا مہنگا پڑ گیا۔ ویکسین کی کھلی شیشی میں بچ جانے والی 10 خوراکیں ہونے کی سر پر لٹکتی تلوار پر ایکسپائر اور 6 گھنٹے میں ڈاکٹر نے ویکسین کے اہل افراد کو ڈھونڈنے کے لیے گھنٹوں گھوڑے دوڑائے۔ ناکامی پر ویکسین کی آخری خوراک بیوی کو دینا پڑی تو حکام نے پروٹوکول کی خلاف ورزی کے تحت ڈاکٹر کے سر ویکسین چوری کا الزام دھرتے ہوئے ڈاکٹر کو سرکاری نوکری سے برطرف کر دیا۔ امریکی اخبار نیو یارک ٹائمز کے مطابق ریاست ٹیکساس کے شہر شوگر لینڈ سے تعلق رکھنے والے 48 سالہ ڈاکٹر حسن گوکل کورونا وبا کے پھیلنے کے بعد گزشتہ برس اپریل سے ہیرس کاؤنٹی کے پبلک ہیلتھ ڈپارٹمنٹ کی کووڈ-19 رسپانس ٹیم کا حصہ تھے۔ دسمبر میں انہیں حکام کی جانب سے بریفنگ دی گئی، جس میں حال ہی میں منظور شدہ ویکسین موڈرانا کے استعمال کے قواعد و ضوابط سے آگاہ کیا گیا، جس کے تحت ویکسین کی ایک شیشی میں موجود 10 خوراکوں کو شیشی کھولنے کے 6 گھنٹوں کے اندر استعمال کرنا ضروری ہے۔ ڈاکٹر گوکل کا کہنا ہے کہ انہیں سختی سے ہدایات دی گئی تھی کہ قیمتی ویکسین کا ایک بھی قطرہ ضائع نہ کیا جائے۔ دسمبر میں ہیوسٹن میں ایک ویکسین ایونٹ کے دوران ویکسین کی ایک شیشی کھولنے کے بعد ڈاکٹر حسن گوکل کے پاس کووڈ-19 کی 10 خوراکیں بچ گئی تھیں، جو اگلے 6 گھنٹوں میں زائد المیعاد ہونے والی تھیں۔ ڈاکٹر گوکل کو انہیں فوری استعمال کرنا ضروری تھا۔ انہوں نے ویکسین کے اہل افراد کو ڈھونڈنے کی پوری کوشش کی۔ انہوں نے آخری خوراک پھیپھڑوں کے مرض میں مبتلا اپنی بیوی کو دی اور 60 سال سے زائد عمر کے دیگر افراد کو ویکسین دے دی۔ اپنے سپروائزر کو اس کی تفصیلات جمع کروا دی۔ پروٹوکول کی خلاف ورزی پر ہیرس کاؤنٹی ڈسٹرکٹ اٹارنی آفس نے ان پر $135 مالیت کی ویکسین کی 10 خوراکیں چرانے کے فرد جرم عائد کر دی۔ اٹارنی آفس نے کہا کہ انہوں نے اپنی حیثیت کا ناجائز استعمال کیا اور قانونی طور پر ویکسین کے حقیقی حقداروں پر اپنے عزیز و اقارب کو فوقیت دی۔ بعد میں الزامات بے بنیاد ہونے کے باعث ان پر سے کیس خارج کر دیا گیا، لیکن بدنامی کی وجہ سے وہ دوبارہ نوکری کے حصول میں ناکام رہے اور اب تک بے روزگار ہیں۔ دوسری جانب ڈاکٹر گوکل کا کہنا ہے کہ یہ ان کی زندگی کے بدترین لمحات ہیں، سب کچھ برباد ہو گیا ہے۔ ان بے بنیاد الزامات سے ہونے والی بدنامی نے ان کی ساکھ کو ناقابل تلافی نقصان پہنچایا ہے۔
Welcome to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and you can see somebody is welcoming us here right now. So let's check out and go closer to them. Hello, how are you all doing? Hey everybody, I'm at Colonial Beach. Look at this nice, somebody welcome, whatever, I tell you.
मैं सामिनाज लाइफस्टाइल टीवी चैनल पे आप सबके लिए मोहम्मद हारिस बरकी, जो एक डॉक्टर और इकबालियन है, फ्रॉइड की ईगो और इट के बारे में कुछ लिखते हैं। वो क्या लिखते हैं, आइए सुनते हैं। सब नशा है, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, कुछ देर होते हैं मेहरबां, हमारी जिंदगी का हासिल है इस मेहरबानी का नशा। लुत्फ बढ़ता गया जू जू शिद्दत जफा बढ़ती गई, उन्हें क्या खबर थी हम पे चढ़ा है खुद अजीती का नशा। जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, दिलों में बसा है इस कदर खुद गर्जी का नशा। सबसे आला सबसे उर्फा कोई नहीं मेरे जैसा, करता है मखमूर जब छाता है खुद सताइशी का नशा। कुव्वते इक्तदार को कम ही हजम कर पाते हैं लोग, कम ज़र्फ कर देता है पागल कुर्सी का नशा। जिस कदर मजलूम हूँ इस कदर मजबूर हूँ, कदम क्या उठें जब हो जाए खुद तरसी का नशा। सर को धुनते धुनते होश हुए ऐसे गुम, दुनिया की खबर ही ना रही जब मौसीकी का छाया नशा। जुए को जिंदगी समझना और जिंदगी को जुआ, हार कर सब मालो मता उतर जाता है जवारी का नशा। हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, तेरी संगदिली से तो है आशिकी का नशा। दुनिया माफिया को छोड़कर गोशाए नशी होना, ये फकीरी नहीं ये है फकीरी का नशा। हारिस नशे और भी हैं, हारिस नशे और भी हैं, महके नशे के सिवा, जिंदगी के हर रूप में छुपा हुस्ने आवारगी का नशा। आदाब।
I'm Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV, USA.
बॉलीवुड स्टार करीना कपूर कहती हैं कि उन्होंने सैफ अली खान की मूंछों के बावजूद भी उनसे मोहब्बत की है। आज दुनिया भर में मगरिबी त्यौहार वैलेंटाइन डे मनाया जा रहा है। इस दिन लोग अपने प्यारों से अपनी मोहब्बत का इजहार करने के लिए उन्हें मुख्तलिफ तोहफे देते हैं, जिनमें लाल गुलाब और चॉकलेट्स सरे फहरिस्त हैं। इस मगरिबी त्यौहार को जहां दुनिया भर के लोग मना रहे हैं, तो वहीं नामवर शख्सियात भी इस दिन अपने प्यारों से अपनी मोहब्बत का इजहार करते दिखाई दे रही हैं। अब इस जमन में बॉलीवुड अदाकारा करीना कपूर ने समाजी राब्ते की वेबसाइट इंस्टाग्राम पर अपने शौहर सैफ अली खान के हमरा माजी की यादगार तस्वीर शेयर की है। मज़कूरा तस्वीर उस वक्त की है जब सैफ अली खान ने अपने लुक तब्दील करने के लिए मूंछें रखनी थी। करीना कपूर ने इस तस्वीर के कैप्शन में सैफ अली खान से मुखातिब होकर लिखा कि उन मूंछों के बावजूद भी मैंने तुमसे मोहब्बत की है। याद रहे कि करीना कपूर और सैफ अली खान साल 2012 में रिश्ते अज़दवाज में मुंसलिक हुए थे। करीना कपूर और सैफ अली खान के यहाँ पहले बच्चे की विलादत 20 दिसंबर 2016 में हुई थी, जबकि इस मारूफ फिल्मी जोड़े ने दूसरे बच्चे के हवाले से करीना की उम्मीद से होने का ऐलान गुज़िश्ता बरस अगस्त में किया था। एक इंटरव्यू में सैफ अली खान ने कहा कि वो दूसरे बच्चे की विलादत से कुछ परेशान तो हैं, लेकिन वो पुरजोश भी हैं कि घर में एक छोटा बच्चा खेलता कूदता नजर आए। हॉलीवुड अदाकारा निकोल किडमैन पर सिडनी के थिएटर में एक शख्स ने हमला कर दिया, जिसके बाद उन्हें वहां से जाना पड़ा। गैर मुल्की मीडिया के मुताबिक 53 साला अदाकारा निकोल किडमैन अपने शौहर के साथ गुज़िश्ता माह थिएटर में शो देखने गई थीं। शो के इख्तिताम पर अदाकारा समेत कुछ लोग दाद देने के लिए खड़े होकर तालियां बजाने लगे। इस दौरान अदाकारा के पीछे बैठे शख्स ने उनसे बैठने को कहा और बादअज़ा उन पर हमला कर दिया। वाक़े के बाद अदाकारा और उनके शौहर को वहां से बाहर भेज दिया गया और मुबैना तौर पर हमला करने वाले शख्स के लिए सिक्योरिटी एहलकारों को बुलाया गया। वाज़ेह रहे कि निकोल किडमैन ऑस्कर समेत कई अवार्ड्स जीत चुकी हैं।
Welcome to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and you can see somebody is welcoming us here right now. So let's check out and go closer to them. Hello, how are you all doing? Hey everybody, I'm at Colonial Beach. Look at this nice somebody very good whatever I'm getting.
मैं सामिनाज लाइफस्टाइल टीवी चैनल पे आप सबके लिए मोहम्मद हारिस बरकी, जो एक डॉक्टर और इकबालियन है, फ्रॉइड की ईगो और इट के बारे में कुछ लिखते हैं। वो क्या लिखते हैं, आइए सुनते हैं। सब नशा है, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, करके सितम वो इंतहा का, कुछ देर होते हैं मेहरबां, हमारी जिंदगी का हासिल है इस मेहरबानी का नशा। लुत्फ बढ़ता गया जू जू शिद्दत जफा बढ़ती गई, उन्हें क्या खबर थी हम पे चढ़ा है खुद अजीती का नशा। जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, जो चाहिए जहां चाहिए जब चाहिए मुझे चाहिए, दिलों में बसा है इस कदर खुद गर्जी का नशा। सबसे आला सबसे उर्फा कोई नहीं मेरे जैसा, करता है मखमूर जब छाता है खुद सताइशी का नशा। कुव्वते इक्तदार को कम ही हजम कर पाते हैं लोग, कम ज़र्फ कर देता है पागल कुर्सी का नशा। जिस कदर मजलूम हूँ इस कदर मजबूर हूँ, कदम क्या उठें जब हो जाए खुद तरसी का नशा। सर को धुनते धुनते होश हुए ऐसे गुम, दुनिया की खबर ही ना रही जब मौसीकी का छाया नशा। जुए को जिंदगी समझना और जिंदगी को जुआ, हार कर सब मालो मता उतर जाता है जवारी का नशा। हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, हम तो कुर्बत से कभी आशना ही ना थे, तेरी संगदिली से तो है आशिकी का नशा। दुनिया माफिया को छोड़कर गोशाए नशी होना, ये फकीरी नहीं ये है फकीरी का नशा। हारिस नशे और भी हैं, हारिस नशे और भी हैं, महके नशे के सिवा, जिंदगी के हर रूप में छुपा हुस्ने आवारगी का नशा। आदाब।
Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV, USA.
to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and you can see somebody is welcoming us here right now. So let's check out and go closer to them. Hello, how are you all doing? Hey everybody, I'm at Colonial Beach. Look at this nice somebody very good whatever I'm getting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Moby with Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. And today we have an excellent guest, Cecilia Ward. She is really well in her profession. She is anger management specialist and behavior therapist. So let's learn from her about anger management. Cecilia, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, Dr. Moby. I am doing really good. Thanks for asking, and thanks for inviting me on your show. Super excited.
Well, this is a topic really a lot of actually people ask me, and they send me a lot of questions. So, are you ready for a difficult session?
Okay, and so am I.
Okay, great. Okay, so some of the questions which I got from the audience already, because I told them that you'll be coming over, and one of them was that tell us about, first of all, what is anger management, or what is anger pretty much? Why people get angry.
Okay, so I will say that anger stems from some type of deep-rooted issue that most people have in their past, right? So we're not born out of the womb with anger. It is a learned behavior, either from what you've experienced / what you have seen in your life. And so, from my experience in working with my clients, it is something that it's a learned behavior. We don't really know how to deal with conflict, or we are just angry. As a child growing up, you develop those angry habits, and you really don't know where to, I would say, position them in your life. So you don't know which box for it to go into. So therefore, you act in anger as if it's something that's natural to you, and that the behavior, a lot of times people think that behavior is okay. So really it's a deep-seated issue. And, for me and my clients, I really like to take them back to where that anger stems from. So you got to do a little deep digging, right? A little self-reflection to find out, okay, well, where did you learn that? What happened in your life that triggered that angry emotion that you haven't been able to set aside and move on with your life, or really learn how to deal with it to live a more, I would say, peaceful life.
So it can actually even date back, so when we have, newborn, they are always socially smiling, or if anything goes wrong with them, they start crying, right?
Yeah.
So the crying is one thing, but anger is the second thing, right? It's different.
Yeah, anger is different.
So I'm just trying to go back to basics. So kind of trying to see where we learn this, and maybe when you do with patients, you try to kind of go back and see where things went wrong.
Yes.
So there could be kids, showing anger if they don't get something what they want, right?
Yes.
So and if parents kind of reinforce that process, so then it imprints that into a behavior, right?
Yes. And, like I said, a lot of people are not taught how to deal with those emotions, right? And so therefore, if you're not taught, we are to teach our children, right? And so if you're not taught, then you don't know how to, when you get angry or something doesn't go your way, you don't know how to process that. And so a lot of us grow up just with just these angry feelings. For me, I'll just make it personal. For me, I grew up in a household that violence occurred, right? And I was angry growing up as a kid. I was angry and I didn't know how to process that. I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I learned that when something doesn't go your way, this is how you behave. This is how you react. You scream, you yell, you fight. And so that was a learned behavior for me. Plus, I was just angry at the situation. Didn't have a chance to talk about it and process it as a child. So therefore, I grew up an angry person until I dealt with what actually happened in order for me to feel that way and not know how to process my feelings.
So you pretty much disassociated that feeling of whether it's a helplessness or whether it is being upset on things from showing the anger part. So you could be sad, it can be bad, or you could know, so you can learn some techniques how to diffuse that.
Yes.
So you kind of come out of that situation. So the anger, and then then we can talk about difference. The other question we got was, what's the difference between men and women showing anger?
I have not seen a difference in the people that I have coached. I will say that anger doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a gender. There's 5 stages to anger that we all go through. And stage 1 is just what happens, like what is triggering the thoughts in your mind. So a situation can happen, and it's up to you as a person to either process that situation with negative self-talk, or you process the situation and really see that I'm going to say the situation is not that serious. So you have a choice in that matter to make a decision on your thought process, right? And so if I get into a situation, let's say someone calls me a name. Okay, am I going to just walk away? Or am I going to begin to say, okay, they shouldn't have called me a name. Okay, so what next? Oh, okay, maybe when they called me a name, I feel like I'm worthless. Oh, this may trigger something from my past that I haven't dealt with. So that emotion comes on. If the negative self-talk continues to play in your mind, then you're going to continue to I'll go to step 3, to the explosive stage. So step 1, situation happens. You have to make a choice in step 1, how to react to the situation. That doesn't have a gender at all. Okay. That's a universal thing, to make a choice around how you're going to react to a situation. And then if you get to the explosive stage, that's where you see how the person is going to react. So there's abuse that takes place, whether it's physical or verbal abuse. There is, there could be sexual assault that takes place within that, as well as, so there's physical abuse, sexual assault, and there's a third one that I can't think of right now, but you act out in that rage that you're feeling. And like I said, that does not have a gender at all, and so that's what I would say. It doesn't have a gender.
So what you're saying is the situation happens, and that of course will not have a gender because it can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
The only difference is maybe they'll bully somebody more, thinking they are minorities or they are weak physically, or whether they are. So maybe there's some bullying difference between different types. Then the second is then how they process that, or how. So the negativity comes in with those thoughts. You kind of go and you feel inferior, or you think that means that to you, or that's what somebody meant, right?
Yeah.
And then the third you're saying is the processing part, where there's still no difference that how you're going to react to that, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then you have the period where you feel you calm down, right? It normally takes around an hour plus. It just depends on, how you process things. After that calming down period, then you have people that feel remorse, right? I shouldn't have done that. Or, in the case of domestic violence, a lot of people will then give gifts, right? Because they feel that remorse. Let me give a gift in order for me to say that I'm sorry, to let the person know I didn't mean that. But if you have not dealt with the anger and what your triggers are, you can go from, it doesn't matter what situation it is. If you have not dealt with that past situation that occurred, you will go right back to the explosive stage. So let's say you and I had a disagreement. We get into a physical altercation. A lot of people, when they see that person again, they automatically get upset. You haven't let go and process the angry feelings that you've had. And so since you have not resolved that issue, you skip steps 1 and 2 and you go directly to 3. And so it happens all over again, right? And so, I always tell my clients, anger is a choice, but you have to learn how to manage that anger. And it comes just with practice and just really understanding, why you're angry. And then understanding, the one thing I tell my clients is you can't control anyone. You have one person that you can control, and that's yourself. That's it.
That's true. That's true. So also tell me, what is then, let's say we have angry situation at family. Where do you see, I'm sure you see a lot of clients with that, what effects it will have to both the wife and husband and kids?
A really bad effect. So I can speak from experience. I suffered from mental illness and I still do, but undiagnosed. I was angry, number one, because I had not dealt with my childhood experiences. Number two, I didn't know that I was suffering from mental illness. So my anger outburst had an effect on everyone that was in our household. Every single person, whether you're a child, whether it was my husband, every single person, it had a negative impact. And so if that's the case, clients, that you have to go back and you have to, first of all, apologize for what's happened. Let the person know that you're taking steps to control your anger. And then the third thing is that you have to work at those people in your household, right? And if you don't do that, then your child has one or two paths to take. Or they can take the path of the exact opposite. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. But I will tell you this, that pattern of behavior, if, I have different kids, so they experience things differently. One of my daughters, if you even think about yelling at her, screaming at her, she shuts down. She doesn't want a relationship with you. She just exits you out. She doesn't want that in her life. So therefore, she runs from any type of confrontation that involves yelling. Then you can also create a fear in a child or fear in a young adult within your household and or an adult because of your behavior. So that fear, right, will then either make that person either retaliate when that situation, or they feel like that same situation happens to them, is happening to them, or it will make them either fight or flight. So it has a huge impact on the people around you. That's why I always tell my clients, you need to deal with the issue of anger, because it's not only impacting you, but those around you.
Okay. So your advice is, it's going to definitely have negative impact on a lot of relationships and whether it's a husband, wife, that personality.
The personality of anger, does it run in families?
Yeah.
It's not hereditary.
Okay, so it's not that, some people say, I get really, I'm short-wired, it's my genes,
I have not read anything that says that anger is in your genes. Now, you have a chemical imbalance, right? You have people who have chemical imbalances that, one of the things is that they act out or whatever. But either it's that or it's a learned behavior.
Okay, so it's a learned behavior. So for everybody who thinks that that they are angry all the time, is not they were born with that. It's just they just developed into, and whatever change happened, you can trace back and kind of try to correct those thought processing, what you're saying.
Yeah.
So tell us some of the techniques for audience sake. So let's say if somebody gets angry very easily and is, get annoyed. Yes, one thing is, of course, trying to resolve things unresolved in their mind and kind of work with the therapist. But are there some things which everybody can start to get some tips and kind of work on their homework every day?
Yeah, definitely. I would suggest one of the exercises that I have my clients do is a circle of influence, right? And so you look at your circle of influence. You're in the middle, of course. And then what are the people, spokes? What are the people that are around you that could enter into that circle? You need to determine, are those people triggers for you? Is it a good relationship? Is it a bad relationship? Is it an okay relationship? But do those people cause you to easily get angry, right? And if that's the case, then that person has to make a choice. I always say to make a choice to get in or get out, or determine whether, today is a good day to approach that person or to be in contact with that person or not. So that's one thing. So figure out, put that circle, draw those spokes, and then say, okay, these are the people that I come in contact with on a daily basis. Are any of these people in this circle a trigger for me in my anger? Number one. And if they are, make a choice to spend that time with that person or cut back on the amount of time with that person. The other thing is to really look at how do I react when I'm angry, right? And am I a short fuse person, or does it take me a while to get to the place where I am totally out of control, right? So my suggestion on both ends really is to, when you feel yourself beginning that negative self-talk, you can feel those negative self-talks. Check and see if it's true. Is the negative self-talk going on within your mind? Is it a true statement or is it not? You also go ahead.
So what you're saying is that the first stage was, like you said, things happen, it happens. But the second one, where your brain processes negativity, that's why you can disassociate that from that, what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. Another thing is just walk away. You can literally walk away from a situation. It'd be hard, but practice walking away. If you're not ready to have a conversation because you know that it's going to make you angry or you're starting to get angry, walk away. If you're in a relationship with someone, a spouse or a significant other, and you're in the same household, if you are getting into a conversation, and the conversation is beginning to make you feel as if your anger, I should say your blood is boiling, you need to tell that person, I am going to walk away. And you don't come back to that discussion until you're able to have it in a calm manner. You know, and so just walk away. But if you're going to practice this, let the person know that I will tell you I'm going to walk away and tell you that when I'm ready to rehash the conversation again. And that could be a day, that could be an hour, but you can walk away.
Okay. And then other question I got, and probably I've seen also a couple of them, is some people who get angry, they either start smoking or they start drinking or both, and then or use drugs.
Go see a therapist.
Go see a therapist.
Go see a therapist. Go see a therapist, you know, because that then goes from I am just angry to I'm angry and I'm self-medicating, right? So I'm going to do drugs, I'm going to do alcohol so that the anger can be covered, you know. So I'm going to cloak the anger with this other chemical, you know, within my brain or within my body so it can make me feel a different way. You need to go see a therapist to deal with not only your anger, but also your now habit that can then turn into something that is, you know, ongoing. Yeah, I've lived with a angry person that was an alcoholic. It was just not a good situation at all growing up.
Of course, it creates two problems. One is, you know, and then smoking, you know, they would just put on cigarette if they, and then, you know, I always tell them, you know, that if you ever check your blood pressure and heart rate with smoking, it goes actually way up. So then same thing. So, or some people could have start eating or or lose appetite. I mean, those are some of the manifestation, mishandling or maladaptive way of dealing with stress or anger, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Also, I'd like to ask you, you know, then becomes important topic of abuse and verbal, and could be, those are the, you know, now you get referral from a lot of, I'm sure, patients who have these anger management problems, could be professionals too, actually.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of, do you get a lot of medical professionals?
Not medical professionals, but I do get a lot of clients at all different ages, all different walks of life. So whether you are, you know, a blue collared or white collar professional, whether you have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money. You know, so I see different clients because they really are at a point. Most people that I see, they're at a point that it is impacting themselves and their families. And that's where they want to come in, and they're just tired of being angry. So that's when they come in and they want the assistance on how to deal with anger. And normally I will tell you, doctor, that when people find out that I'm an anger management specialist, and this is not something that is court mandated, because a lot of courts mandate people to go, you know, anger management, but they're like, oh my gosh, like they really exist. Yeah, they really exist. You know, and then they start to say, oh, my brother needs anger management courses, or my sister, or my husband. I'm like, okay, but you can't force a person to, you know, to take on a, you know, counselor for anger. That person has to be willing and ready to at that point in time. But it's across the gamut.
I think I remember I watched movie, you know, if you remember that movie, I think where the actor was forced to go through anger management course by the judge. So I think yes, and then he had to, of course, the judge mandated that, otherwise he'll be sent to jail for extra time. So a lot of I mean, we are in hospital, I see many times, you know, these happening. Lot of certain you know, medical profession also show a lot of anger towards you know, their residents or their you know, the junior staff or the so does that you know, but nobody, you know, can force them to counseling.
Exactly. And some people think that it's, you know, this is okay. This is how you treat people.
Yeah.
You know, learned behavior. This is how you treat people. Or someone has never said to that person, you know, the way that you're treating these people are wrong, right? In the Fortune 100 companies that I've worked for, you have a lot of leaders that feel that, you know, this is how you should lead. You should lead with the, you know, with the strong hand, you know, and you don't need to be happy every day. You need to come in and you need to have a stoic face. And these people need to know you don't want to push me the wrong way, because if you do, then it's going to be brutal, you know. And so in corporate America, people have abused people just by their words. Like, abuse is just not physical, and it's just not emotional, it's verbal. You can have verbal abuse based on your anger. And so even calling someone, as simple as calling someone fat, that's verbal abuse. People don't want to be called out of their names, you know. And so therefore, like I said, in corporate America, abuse is very common. Verbal abuse is very common. And people think that they need to rule with an iron fist. And you don't need to. You can come in and be happy and be joyful and still get the same results from people. But they feel like they have to have that, you know, about them. Like, yes, you don't want to push me the wrong way, because if you do, then I'm going to get angry and this is going to be the result of it. Okay.
And that you mean like a boss look? They don't need that.
Yeah.
They don't need the kind of bossy look and then pretend that they are. And it happens, you know, we see also in the hospital, certain specialty would do that. How does that they are? I mean, you do. So we used to teach, you know, staff actually for these team building and so forth. So there were few, you know, certain specialties will come and they just you know, harass everybody and make fun of all the staff. And so when they will come, you'll see there's a pin drop silence, you know, even the patients and everybody don't know.
And so you've exerted your position over someone, and you believe that you can treat them any kind of way, and that should be okay.
Yeah, that's sad. That's how it's done. Okay, well, thank you. It was a pleasure learning, and you know, hopefully it has helped a lot of my viewers. And any final thoughts you'd like to share?
I would just say that if you are struggling with anger, just go get assistance, because it's so important for you to live a more, I would say, more joyful life. It's important for your friends and for your family and those that are around you. The anger management process is, you know, it takes weeks, but it's easier than what you may think that it is. So go seek help, because help is out there.
Okay, yes, and that is also same advice that, you know, don't try to read yourself. I mean, you can do certain things for sure. Avoid alcohol, avoid smoking, avoid those situations which really kind of fuse you. So yes, you can do those. And then, you know, then maybe try to, of course, make sure sleep good, because if you don't sleep well, you will be very moody.
Yes.
So sleep and eat better for sure.
Yes.
Those things you can do, but beyond that, you should definitely consult somebody specialist. Thank you for coming. It was pleasure.
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Today I'm at Berkeley, Virginia. Gorgeous places, Dr. Moby. Keep watching our transmission. It's excellent. We really take care of your family needs as well as entertainment. So enjoy. And this is Dr. Moby checking out from Berkeley Marine. Hey, you want a picture? Oh, look at them. They want a picture with me. Next time, buddies. Look at the nice day you get to boating as well as enjoy the nature. This is Berkeley. It's gorgeous. So it looks like we have great fishing here, Berkeley, and you can check. It is a lot of fishing actually, walleye. Wow. So those are really nice. Hiking, you can take trails and go there. It's really nice. Beautiful green. And you can imagine if you take a walk, it'll be very relaxed. As you can see, sun is shining through the trees. Gorgeous view. Gorgeous view. So you can take a trail here and enjoy. As you can see, gorgeous, gorgeous day for fishing. We have boating too. Hi, this is Dr. Moby with Lifestyle TV.
My name is Dr. Moby. I pray we can get rid of COVID. I'm feeling so sad and gloomy when people don't follow or listen to me. The emergency room is filling. A family wants to turn back time. They wish they had been willing to wear a mask, but now they're saying goodbye. It breaks my heart. I'm drained and I can't think. I salute the unsung heroes, all the healthcare providers who put their lives on the line for you and I. I got a call from a unit. The room was empty except for a phone. A hug is just what you need. We all feel so alone. There's a person who is cleaning, working and working non-stop. wash my face, and I am ready. It ain't time yet to close up shop. It breaks my heart. I'm dreaming and I can't think. I salute the unsung heroes, all the healthcare providers who put their lives on the line for you and I.
Hi, I'm Rocky Kramer, and you're watching Lifestyle TV USA.
Coming up, we'll be on location at Best Health Sleep Center in Dumfries, Virginia, discussing the latest advances in sleep disorder treatment, health, and wellness, and how they can effectively treat sleep apnea and help you get a good night's sleep, as well as restoring your health and wellness with one of this area's top doctors, Dr. Mubashir Fazal. Dr. Fazal is board certified in sleep medicine, hospital medicine, as well as family medicine, and has well over 20 years of experience. Dr. Fazal also received a medal for academic excellence while he was attending medical school. He also was chief resident and then became chief of medicine at a hospital in Michigan. Dr. Fazal works extensively with not only the private sector, but also federal government organizations, including the VA and the U.S. Army, among others. Dr. Fazal is also one of the very few doctors in this DMV region who specializes in both pediatric as well as adult sleep medicine. He is widely recognized as one of this region's top doctors.
Welcome to the Best Health Sleep Center.
This is Dr. Fazal, Medical Director, as well as Board Certified Sleep Specialist. I'm here to help all your sleep needs. We serve Maryland and Virginia area, and we take care of adult as well as pediatric population. Welcome.
My name is Samara, and I'm the office manager of Best Health Sleep Center. I will make sure you've got a good customer service, and I will take care of all your sleep needs and scheduling.
Hi, I'm Christopher. I'm a patient care coordinator, and I'm here to go the extra mile and make sure you get exceptional customer service.
Hi, my name is Liz. Bienvenidos a nuestra clínica. Estamos aquí para ofrecerte ayuda si tienes problemas para dormir. Si tienes problemas de sobrepeso, si sufres de ansiedad o si no puedes dormir y porque roncas mucho, estamos aquí esperándote que nos llames. Tenemos oficinas en Maryland y en Virginia. Gracias, te esperamos.
My name is Mohsen. I take care of all the DME equipment needs. Even after the follow-up, I make sure that all the patients been taken care of at the best level.
They really care about their patients. Very responsive. Anytime I've had any question or issue, either the staff or the doctor, Fazal gets back to me quickly. It's been great working with them.
I would say out of a scale 1 to 10, he's a 20. And the nurses and the staff are beautiful people.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NFL Talk with Brian and Moby. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing well, other than the butt whooping your Steelers put on us last week.
And in honor of my Steelers, I'm wearing black and gold today. And just to a great performance by Big Ben. And how's everybody watching games? I hope they had a safe and nice weekend. So how was your think about NFL last week? Do you think teams are getting worse?
Well, my Browns are up and down. They seem, if they can't run, which they could not run the ball last week, they struggle. Just looking at some of the games last week, Denver beating New England was a shock to me. I did not anticipate New England losing to Denver. How about you? Any games stand out?
Yeah, I think I had the Tampa Bay and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I thought
Green Bay too.
Yeah, I thought Green Bay, and I called few of my Packers fan, and they were really upset, and they said, "Oh, how about your Vikings? How did they do?" So I said, "Well, they didn't do well."
No, they didn't.
So I said, "Yeah, I have two teams, favorite Steelers and Vikings, and one of them usually does good."
Yeah, Atlanta getting their first win. I was shocked that they beat Minnesota like they did. Matt Ryan, performed really well last week, and their interim coach, Raheem Morris, coaching them to their first win. So I was shocked. I thought Minnesota, Kirk Cousins has been playing fairly well, but for some reason they have been struggling.
So you think let's wrap up to the games and see what was there. Okay. So let's start with which one was your first one?
Denver and New England was a game that we talked briefly about, but Denver beating New England 18-12. I was shocked how Cam Newton, I think he got sacked quite a few times, and they couldn't move the ball. I was kind of shocked about that win right there with Denver getting that victory.
So I think it makes me wonder. You think New England problem is players, or is it? I know coach is saying.
Well, I mean, Belichick, being there for 20-some years, I don't really think it's a coaching issue. I think Cam Newton basically didn't play at all last year. He's getting back into the swing of things. New team, a lot of new faces. He's trying to get used to. New coordinator. So I think it's more of them trying to get together as a team rather than a coaching or a player deal.
Yeah, and we had Houston, Tennessee. And
really good game.
Really good game.
Yeah, that was one that I was kind of watching come down to the end. Houston took the lead, and then Tennessee gets the ball and drives down, and they send it to overtime, and then they get the win in overtime. Yeah, Derrick Henry crushed it last week, so he's a tough one.
Yeah, I was just I think I had also picked as Houston and I lost. So
yeah, I picked Tennessee on that one.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I got lucky, but I picked New England to win and they lost. So, and then the game that I kind of watched, and I didn't watch it long because they were getting crushed from the word go, was my Browns against your Steelers. That was not even close. I think it was like 38-7. Baker Mayfield got benched, I think, in the third quarter. They brought in Case Keenum, and it didn't matter. We couldn't run the ball, so Pittsburgh looking pretty tough there. A big game coming up we'll talk about shortly, Pittsburgh and Tennessee.
Yeah, that's going to be, but if, Tennessee, that you're right, that's going to be a big game. If you remember, we went to Steelers and Browns game, and that was the same.
Several years ago. Johnny Manziel, I think it was his rookie year. So
we both actually went and watched the game, and I remember that game. Browns
came out in overtime,
came out, and then they, I think they lost probably, but
by a field goal,
by field goal.
Yep.
And that was so close, and I remember we both leaving stadium, and you said, "Oh, let me check that." I said, "Wow."
Yeah, we still lost though. Made it close, but
it was a good game.
Yes, and then a game that we talked a little bit last week, I thought could be a potential upset, was Baltimore against Philly, and it was really close. Philly made a comeback. They lose 30-28, but it was a really good game.
Yeah, I had Philly, and I like we were saying, two birds. I think so Ravens ate Eagles.
Yeah. Yeah, Baltimore got the win. I picked them, but it was a really close game. Mm-hmm. And then all our local Washington fans, I thought they might pull that game out last week, but they lose a real close game, 20-19. Washington had a chance in the end, but couldn't convert. So.
Yeah. And then Minnesota, Atlanta, that was
shock there. 40-23, Atlanta putting a really whooping on the Vikings. I didn't see that coming.
I thought Atlanta was done for the season.
I did too. Guess, so. Again, the interim coach, I think it was not last week, but 2 weeks ago when Romeo Crennel came in for Houston, they get their first win. And now Raheem Morris coming in for Atlanta gets his first victory. So
wow, great. What about Jacksonville, Detroit?
I picked Detroit, and they get the win. I think it was 34-16. I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to that game. I'm not a fan of either one of them, but I picked Detroit.
Same. I picked Detroit, and it was fine. And Indy versus
Indy, Cincinnati. Cincinnati jumps out. I think it was like 21-0, and they end up getting beat 31-27.
Wow.
Indy comes back and gets the win. And I picked Indy.
The same here. Carolina, Chicago.
So that game I picked Chicago, and it was a pretty close game. Chicago gets the win 23-16, but I believe Carolina had a chance to come and get a tie or to win the game, but they couldn't convert in the fourth quarter there.
What about Miami?
I picked Miami. It wasn't a close game. It was 24-0 Miami, but I think the shocker here is Miami is benching Fitzpatrick, and they're going to start Tua Tagovailoa, their rookie quarterback from Alabama. I didn't really see a reason for this move other than them wanting to get some playing time for the rookie quarterback, but that's one of the topics for this week.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. And Green Bay, that's a heartbreaker because I thought Aaron Rodgers is going to pull that, but it's sad.
Yeah, we briefly mentioned last week that Tom Brady probably doesn't lose 2 in a row often, and he didn't. So they get the win there. They won 38-10. Aaron Rodgers for his I think he threw his first 2 interceptions. One was a pick six that kind of turned the tide of the game last week. So, but I picked Green Bay, and I took a loss there.
Yeah, I picked Green Bay too. I thought shouldn't have. And Rams.
So Rams, San Francisco. I didn't see this one either.
Yeah,
Rams were. I thought we were going to win this game. Yeah. San Francisco, a lot of injuries. Garoppolo ends up playing, and I believe he threw at least 2 touchdowns, and they get the win. San Francisco does 24-16, and but I took the loss in our pool there.
Do you think the San Francisco is going to turn around?
I picked them this week. It all depends on the play of Garoppolo and if they can overcome that injuries on the defensive line. They did last week. Rams is a pretty explosive offense, and they kept them to 16 points. So we'll see. Ask me in maybe 2 more weeks. So.
Okay, what about Kansas?
Kansas City, Buffalo. I picked Kansas City. Buffalo got their second loss, 2 in a row. They lost 26-17. Who'd you have in that one?
Kansas
City. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And Dallas. Cowboys. Oh, that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, Arizona and the Cowboys. Zeke Elliott been struggling this year with fumbles. He had 2 fumbles last week. I think that brings his total to 5 this year. Arizona turned those 2 fumbles into 14 points, and that kind of turned the game. It was a close game at that point, but then Arizona gets a win, 38-10. So, but I picked Arizona. So
You picked Arizona. Yeah, I picked Dallas, and I thought they were gonna do well, but I guess not. I was wrong.
No, they kind of been struggling. Their offense now without Dak. I really didn't see how Dalton did last week, but I know Zeke struggled. If their offense can't produce, their defense is going to give up points, and they gave up 38 last week. So that division is wide open because I think Dallas is right now got 2 wins. Philly's got 1 win and a tie and 4 losses. Washington 1 win. So it's still up in the air.
So that will be a division where you lose less and still win.
Yeah, that could be a 500 playoff team or maybe even below 500, which is very rare. But my gut tells me my wife's Eagles is going to win that division. So
yeah, I think I am with that. Or the sleeping Giants can come back, but
yeah, I mean the Giants. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. They haven't really been playing too well. They barely got a win last week with Washington. So, but you never know. Still quite a bit of games left in this year. So,
but those 2 teams, I think, sleeping Giants and those are they come back and over. It's been always traditionally very low scoring division. Always been like I think. That's the but question is, even if they reach the playoffs and the postseason,
probably one and done.
So what good is gonna do?
Yeah, but I mean it'd be nice. I mean my Browns haven't seen the playoffs in 2002, so I would take a playoff showing even if we lose. But Derrick Henry, 212 yards rushing. I think he had a long screen pass for a touchdown as well, but he had 212 and 2 DT, 2 touchdowns. And then Justin Jefferson from Minnesota had 166 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. And then, those are, I think, the game I really was impressed with is San Francisco.
Me too.
I think they really played well. So
yeah, I didn't see that one coming. So
yeah, I know. So let's see what we have for Week 7. Oh, look at that! Week 7 is in. We have Giants at Philly.
Giants at Philly. I mean, divisional game, and I think the winner tonight is going to put their foot forward in that division. And I'm picking Philly at home. I think Philly's going to get the win at home.
I think I agree. I will also take Philly, and I will stick with Philly too, because I think I have a feeling they will probably be the winner. And Pittsburgh at Tennessee.
Big game. I think this is going to be a playoff game down the road.
Yeah.
I'm picking Tennessee. They're at home.